姊妹平安。
Brothers and sisters, may peace be with you.
今日我哋會睇掛循日曆裏邊嘅聖經嘅植物。
Today we study again the plants of mentioned in the Helen calendars.
特登揀呢一個係留翻11月講到差傳嘅時候，我哋去睇呢一個嘅植物叫披麻。
I have been holding to study this plant until now because of the missionary week.
我曾經聽過一個咁樣嘅故事。
I have heard a story before.
講到喺一個嘅村莊嘅裏邊有一個嘅教堂。
There was a church in a valley.
教堂嘅裏邊咧就有一個牧師。
There's a pastor.
呢個牧師好敬畏神。
The pastor is a holy man.
亦都好倚靠神。
And rely on God all the time.
咁每一日都仰望神自己嘅引導。
And waiting for the guidance from the God.
咁有一日咧，呢個嘅村莊嘅裏邊咧就有暴風。
When there's storm in the valley.
咁咧就已經消息嚟到話呢個暴風好犀利。
There was news that the storm was really serious.
咁呢個牧師仍然喺教堂嘅裏邊懇切嘅祈禱。
And the pastor been keep praying in the church.
咁佢祈禱嘅時候咧，就有一個嘅會友走嚟揾呢個牧師。
When he was praying, a member of the church come and talk to the pastor.
咁佢同牧師打大風啊，就嚟水都浸到未啦，快啲走啦！
Oh, pastor, please leave now because the storm is coming and there's flooding too.
咁咧就呢個牧師就同呢個會友講：你放心，我咁愛主，咁敬畏神，神一定會救我嘅。
Then the pastor told the member that the God loved me so much, he will save me. Don't worry.
咁叫個會友走啦。
So he asked the member to leave.
咁跟住一個風暴嚟嘅時候咧，啲水咧係咁掩蓋。
When the storm came and there was serious flooding there.
咁有一個嘅警察就坐住一個救生艇就嚟到呢個教堂 ，make sure 裏邊冇人，但係見到牧師。
And then the police came to the church with a bowl and talked to the pastor.
咁呢一個嘅警察就話：牧師啊，呢個水就嚟會掩蓋呢一個嘅呢個村莊㗎啦，快啲啦！我有個救生艇，你坐個救生艇一齊走啦。
And the police told the pastor, the water will cover the church very soon. Leave with me on the boat.
咁呢一個牧師又同呢一個警察講：你放心，我好相信神，神一定會拯救我嘅。
And the pastor told the police that, I trust in God and I truly believe God
唔
will
緊要啦，你
save
走先啦。
So you can leave now. I will be saved.
咁如此，咁呢個警察就走啦。
And then the police left.
再過一段嘅時間，啲水真係掩蓋。
And then the water really covered the church.
連整個嘅教堂嘅建築物都掩蓋。
And covered the whole church building.
個牧師就爬咗教堂嘅屋頂度。
Then the pastor had to
突然之間有個直升機嚟。
And there was a helicopter came.
咁嘅直升機上邊有人就呼叫啊！
And someone from the helicopter
下邊嘅人快啲接住個梯爬上嚟走啦！
Someone shout to the pastor, hold firm on the ladder and be safe.
因為啲水就嚟掩蓋呢個嘅村莊啦。
And the water is covering the whole valley soon.
咁呢個牧師就大叫
And the pastor shout,
佢話：你唔使擔心我。
don't worry.
我愛神，神愛我，神一定差遣幫拯救我嘅。
I love God and God loves me. God will send someone to save me.
咁喺都要擾攘咗一段嘅時間，咁嘅直升機都冇開負啦，就走啦。
And then the helicopter leave too.
最後嘅結果係乜嘢？
And what the final result?
個結果係咩啊？
What's the ending of this?
個牧師拜拜啦，個牧師咧就去咗天堂度。
Then the pastor died and went to.
佢見到上帝，
And he saw the God.
佢好開心。
He asked God.
因為佢敬畏神，神有愛佢，佢見到上帝好開心。
He saw God and now he's so peace because he can see God.
佢有一個為難嘅面色。
But the pastor, do you have some questions?
神又察覺佢有一個為難嘅面色嘅，就問佢：你有咩事啊？
Then God asked, what question you have?
咁呢個牧師唔好意思咁去問神，我有一樣嘢唔明白。
Then the pastor asked, I have one thing to understand.
我咁愛你，
I love you so
我
much,
又知道你好愛我，
and I know you love me too.
我又跟隨你，又敬畏你，
I follow you in all the time.
點解呢個村莊水浸你唔救我啊？
Why don't you save me? There's a flooding in the valley,
要我死喺水浸眼眉，
and I have to die in the flooding.
神就慨嘆咗一句：
And then God shared.
點解你咁講啊？
Oh, why you say that?
我點會唔救你咧？
I did save you.
我一早已經救你啦
I've，been trying to save you.
我一早叫你嘅會友嚟救你，
I've sent a member to save you,
不過你唔聽啫嘛。
but you didn't listen to me.
我又睇佢個警察嚟救你，
I will send the police to
Listen
save
to-
you, and you didn't listen to me.
埋直升機嚟救你，你又唔聽。
And the father sent a helicopter to
你
save
點
you.
解話我唔救你啊？
But why don't you ask me not saving you? I've
當
been-
然啦，呢一個係一個故事啦。
Of course, this is a story.
咁嘅故事係未必真啦，
It may not be a true
不過
story,
咧就裏邊有一啲嘅意思喺度。
but there's some meaning that we
無論每一個嘅人，我哋都可能喺不經不覺，我哋有我哋自己一啲嘅盲點。
we all have some blind spots.
嗰啲嘅盲點係我哋唔察覺得到，
We may not notice we have that,
或者唔容易察覺得到。
or it's not easy for us to realize that.
好容易我哋會諗住呢啲盲點係我自己嘅事，
Sometimes we say, "Oh, it's my issue," even though we have those blind spots.
可能呢啲嘅盲點有意無意嘅係影響咗你與人嘅關係，
But those blind spots may impact the relationship
甚至
for you with
影
someone,
響咗你對神一啲嘅感覺。
and also impact some of the feeling of relationship with
只可
God.
能呢啲嘅影響已經喺你嘅一生裏邊已經出現咗好長嘅時間，
And those spots have been impacted for a long time.
或者今日可能係影響緊你，以致你產生一啲嘅不安。
And also those blind spots have been impacting you such that you have some fear in yourself.
11月份我哋睇嘅植物係講到披麻。
In November, we will study the plant called castor oil plant.
披麻有好多唔同嘅讀法，
There are
即
different
係
names,
嘅稱呼。
there are different names of castor.
有which is或者嘅Castor bean and Castor oil plants 都有咁人稱呼，我唔知點解，都係披麻啦嚇。
There are different names like resinous, commoners, the castor bean or castor oil plant.
但係亦都有一啲嘅地方，譯披麻叫做基督嘅手杖。
There are also translation in somewhere that translate castor as the palm of Christ.
點解咧？
Why?
披麻係一種好特別嘅一種嘅植物。
The castor is a very special plant.
裏邊咧有好強烈嘅毒性啊！裏邊包含一種叫做毒蛋白。
There's some poisonous, poisoning element there.
但係裏邊亦都有一種嘅蛋白係一種嘅營養嚟嘅。
And also in castor, there's element that is for healing.
所以咧就有啲嘅地方嘅裏邊咧，披麻做一種嘅醫治，因為佢有療傷、醫治傷口嘅作用。
So castor can be used for the healing the womb.
但係披麻嘅毒性咧，如果我哋唔小心去使用嘅時候，小朋友2到7粒咧就可以死亡。
Because castor also have poison in it, so if we take too much, we will die.
而大人食咗20粒披麻嘅種子，佢就會死亡。
For example, if the adult take about 20 castor seeds, then will die.
咁所以披麻裏邊咧係即係有佢嘅好處，亦都有佢唔好處嘅地方。
So using castor have its own benefits, also has weaknesses. or
披麻係好
problems.
定唔好啊？
So castor says something good or bad.
如果你問阿約拿可能話好過，但係唔好最後尾。
You ask Jonah, say, "Oh, what's good in the beginning?" But then it's bad.
NIV 用一個攀藤科嘅植物嘅裏邊去形容到用 vine 去形容。
Also in
Hey,
our translation, they also translate castor as wine.
但係好奇怪，聖經裏邊係以我所了解係約拿書單單啲嘅地方出現披麻呢一個嘅植物。
In the Bible, it's only Castor only appear in the book of Jonah.
而神喺第4章嘅裏邊，藉着披麻呢一個嘅植物，俾先知約拿一個好好嘅教導。
So in Jonah chapter 4, God used Castor to teach a lesson.
希望佢能夠了解到佢自己嘅盲點。
So that Jonah would understand what his blind spots
因
were.
為佢嘅盲點唔單止影響咗佢自己嘅生存嘅意志，甚至影響咗佢去回應神自己嘅使命。
So the blind spot of Jonah affect him not just in his way to face his life, also the relationship with God.
當我哋睇先知約拿書，約拿書除咗講到神好願意拯救尼尼微城之外，神亦好擺好多嘅時間，刻意去教導約拿呢位嘅先知。
So in the book of Jonah, besides talking about the salvation in Nineveh, also there's a big part of the book mentioned about how God teach about Jonah.
今日我哋嚟到睇約拿書第4章。
Today, when we study the chapter 4, the book of Jonah,
當我哋睇到經文之前嘅時候，我哋靜一靜諗一諗。
before we study the Bible, let us reflect ourselves for a moment.
喺你嘅人生裏邊有冇一啲嘅盲點？
In your life, what are your blind spots?
呢啲嘅盲點可能係你不留意到、冇留意到，以致經常重複地喺你人生嘅裏邊產生一啲嘅問題嘅出現。
Because you didn't realize those blind spots and then have been causing issue in your life.
呢啲嘅盲點可能影響到你自己嘅情緒，或者影響你同人嘅關係，甚至影響你嘅工作、你嘅家庭。
And then all this blind spot have been affecting yourself, your family, also your in the relationship with
你
others.
最近有冇一啲嘅盲點正影響緊你？
Did you realize? Are you realizing that some of the blind spots are affecting you right
然
now?
後你冇留意到。
Or you don't realize that, notice that.
得當我哋今日喺呢段經文嘅時候，讓我哋一個，我哋都有一個禱告。
Today, when we study the passage, let us have prayer.
神啊，俾我哋能夠專心留意我哋自己嘅盲點係喺邊一度。
Pray to God, asking God to help us to realize our blind spots,
求神對我哋每一個講說話，
and pray for God to talk to tell
讓我哋
us
每一個
every day.
低頭一頭嘅祈禱。
Let's have prayer.
主，今日我哋嚟到你嘅面前，
Lord, today we come before you.
就讓我哋唔單止身體嚟到，
Oh Lord, not just our physical body be here.
讓我哋能夠專注嚟到你嘅面前，聆聽你自己嘅說話。
And let us to focus on your word and listen to you.
你知道我哋嘅不足，
Oh Lord, you know our
你知
weaknesses,
道我哋嘅軟弱，
know our weak points.
你知道我哋有好多盲點，以致我哋冇察覺，甚至不斷重複影響緊我哋嘅人生。
Oh Lord, you know that we didn't realize our blind spot and they are affecting our life.
神啊，我哋謙卑我哋自己，
Oh Lord, let ourselves be humble before you
我哋嚟到上帝嘅面前，
and come before you.
我哋懇求聖靈光照我哋，
Oh Lord, may your spirit, Holy
讓我
Spirit
哋
shine on
睇
us
到我哋不足嘅地方，
so that we realize our weakness,
以致我哋能夠立定心志喺我哋嘅軟弱嘅地方有所突破。
so we can make our mind to break through all these weaknesses.
神啊，將我哋以下嘅時間交託，
Oh Lord, we take our time to your holy hand.
奉耶穌嘅聖名，
In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray.
阿門。
Amen.
弟兄姊妹，巴不得我哋每一個，我哋都留心擺低你各樣嘅嘢，專心聽神喺你當中對你講咩嘅說話。
Brother, sister, may you just focus on what God is coming to tell you today,
特別喺網嘅弟兄姊妹，
especially those on the
唔好煮
Internet
飯住啦，
those who worship online.
唔
Just
好接其他電話啦，
don't spend time on cooking or on the
望
phone.
住你嘅熒光幕，
Just focus on the screen.
用一個禱告嘅心，神請你對我講說話。
May we all have prayers hard to talk to ask God. So
約拿書嘅第4章裏邊一開始，聖經裏邊有咁樣嘅記載。
in the beginning of chapter 4, the Bible mentioned.
聖經話這事約拿大大不喜悅，而且甚發怒。
But Jonah was greatly displeased and became angry.
呢一度講到約拿一種嘅反應唔開心。
Then he mentioned that Jonah was not happy.
點解唔開心咧？
Why he was displeased.
所以如果我哋要了解唔開心嘅時候，我哋需要翻第3章究竟發生咩事。
To understand the reason, we have to go back to chapter 3.
其實第4章亦都有暗示到嗰個問題。
And also chapter 4 mentioned briefly about that too.
第1章講到咧，就係神叫約拿去尼尼微傳道，約拿咧就去他施。
So chapter 1 of the book of Jonah, God asked Jonah to go to Nineveh, but Jonah went to the Tasha.
咁跟住咧，佢就神就透過一個風浪去教導約拿。
In chapter 2, so God through the storm to teach Jonah.
第2章裏邊喺約拿喺魚腹嘅裏邊去禱告去懺悔。
And in chapter 3, Jonah repent in the chapter 2, and Jonah repent in the tummy of the fish.
第3章嘅裏邊，約拿去到尼尼微去循例去宣講神嘅救恩，但係尼尼微上下一齊悔改，所以神拯救尼尼微。
So in chapter 3, it mentioned about eventually Jonah went to Nineveh to.
約拿點解唔開心？就係因為尼尼微嘅人可以得救。
And Jonah doesn't want to go to Nineveh because he doesn't want the people in the Nineveh to be saved.
你會留意第2節嘅時候，約拿向神有一個嘅禱告，禱告一開始咁樣講。
So we looked at chapter 2, then Jonah have a prayer.
佢話：我知道你是有恩典、有憐憫嘅神，不輕易發怒，有豐盛嘅慈愛，並且後悔不降所說嘅災。
So Jonah said that I knew that you are gracious and a compassionate God, slow to anger and abundant in love, and a God who relents from sending calamity.
約拿對神認唔認識啊？
So do you think Jonah knows God?
好知道啊！
Yeah, he did.
我知就係神係咁樣。
He knew the attitude of God.
但係知道係神係咁樣嘅時候咧，佢唔去喎。
But even though he knew the attribute of God, he didn't follow and go to Nineveh.
換句話講嘅，約拿係唔想尼尼微城嘅人去得救。
So that means Jonah doesn't want the Ninevites to be
點
saved.
解你一個先知唔想尼尼微城得救？
So why a prophet doesn't want the city to be saved?
好多時我哋睇約拿好有佢自己嘅民族嘅背景啊。
We know Jonah, he has own cultural background.
有2個嘅可能性，以致約拿唔想尼尼微城嘅人得救。
There may be 2 possible reasons that Jonah doesn't want the people in Nineveh to be saved.
唔好忘記約拿係一個以色列人嘅先知。
So Jonah was an Israelite prophet.
以色列人有一種好重嘅民族性。
This is a very strong
佢係神嘅選民。
culture or belief that Israelites was the chosen.
神去拯救邊個？
So, but God want to save who?
我哋以色列人啊，
God should only save the
明
Israelites.
嗎？所以救恩臨喺以色列人啦，喺約拿嘅身上係邊個？絕對正確嘅事情。
When Jonah see the salvation in among the Israelites, he really understood it.
外邦
But he doesn't understood that
叫我去到外邦將救恩話俾一啲外邦人聽。
understood that he need to go to the foreign country and tell the gospel to them.
可能約拿喺當中，佢覺得唔應該。
So Jonah, some possible
或者約拿，
think this is the right way to do.
或者約拿佢覺得尼尼微城嘅人嗰啲嘅人罪大惡極，去拯救佢唔應該。
Or Jonah think Netherfat.
姊妹，我哋今日咁樣睇約拿嘅時候，其實可能我哋都會有啲哇，嗰啲人咁衰啊，真係即係宜得佢早啲落地獄，係咪？
And Jonah may think those people are so
你會唔會
sinful, they're
咁
not
諗啊？
going to be saved. And we may also have the same thinking.
唔敢答㗎，係咪啊？你就係諗下，我哋有冇試過咁諗啊？可能有啲人係激嬲我哋，哎呀，得你死！
That people make me so angry, they should not be saved.
點知可能你同我哋有一啲嘅盲，
We may have our own blind spots too.
嗰啲人唔係我去傳啦，嗰啲人留翻第二啲人去傳。
Those are not the person that I supposed to spread the gospel to. They should be someone else to do it.
約拿書裏邊話俾我哋聽，約拿有佢嘅盲點，其實你同我都有我哋嘅盲點，但係個盲點唔係問題，盲點係咩？約拿係死不知錯。
So Jonah has the blind spot, same as we do, but the blind spot is not the biggest problem. And the thing is, they don't really aware the mistake and don't correct the mistake.
有時我哋嘅盲點或者我哋嘅prejudge 嘅觀念嘅時候，我哋覺得啱，我哋唔會去改。
Even though we know we have some prejudgment, but we don't try to correct it.
甚至神提好多次都唔會去改。
When God reminded Jonah many times, he didn't correct his prejudgment.
一個人喺佢嘅盲點唔知道去悔改嘅時候，會換嚟有咩結局？
We realize we have blind spot and we don't correct them. What's the end result?
約拿話俾我哋聽嘅時候，佢就會忘記咗神喺佢人生裏邊嘅呼召。
From Jonah, we learned that he forgot about the calling from God.
呢個先知唔會去拯救人咯。
And prophets forgot that the job is supposed to save people.
或者一個醫護人員佢唔救人，
Similar to a health person, no,
我哋容易明白
he
啲啦，
designed
係
not
咪？
to save anyone.
明嗎？個使命係乜嘢啊？係幫助去拯救，但佢冇咗嗰個使命感。
What's the mission of Jonah is to save people.
甚至喺佢逃避去到他施嘅時候，係逃避神喺佢人生裏邊一啲嘅責任。
And also Jonah the duty and to run to Tarshish.
跟住忘記放棄咗神嘅旨意喺佢人生嘅當中。
And Jonah gave up God's will that on him.
但係最慘嘅一樣，
And the worst case,
你會留意到約拿嘅對話嘅當中，
and from the conversation of Jonah,
喺第3、第8、第9節重複出現嘅。
and it appears 3 times in verse 3, 8, and 9.
約拿話：因為我死了比活着還好。
He said, Jonah said, I am angry enough to die.
It's better。
Oh, it's better for me to.
第8節嘅時候，我死了比活着還好。
In verse 8, it would be better for me to die than to live.
第9節嘅裏邊，我發怒以至於死都合乎你。
In verse 9, Jonah said, I am angry enough to die.
一個先知去到神面前，我死啦，
And a prophet
死
go
咗
to
先到啊！呢
in
個
front
聽
of，God and ask for die.
我以為死就冇，就可以逃避咗呢啲嘅嘢。
Because Jonah think that, he can avoid the thing by just dying.
你諗下，一個人佢有一啲嘅期望，但係達唔到嘅時候，佢就失去咗一啲生存嘅動力啊！
Same when someone cannot fulfill his desire, then he lost his motive to die.
點解啲人入唔到理想學府就會跳樓死啊？係咪？
Why someone cannot get into the
我死了比活着還好啊嘛！
desire
因為我入唔到就冇。
education institute, then he tried to kill himself.
或者面對某一啲嘅問題，我就死了比活着還好啊！
Why someone when they're facing trouble and problem, they think that it's better for them to die than to live.
嗱，反映緊一個嘅時候，原來今日我哋每一個人嘅盲點，我哋唔識去處理，或者冇好好處理嘅時候，有一日可能我哋去到最終嘅時候，我哋失去咗生存嘅動力。
And from this story of Jonah, realize that if we don't deal with the bright spot wisely, we will have the opportunity to lose the motive to live.
唔知道點解我要活着。
So we don't know. I think people will lose the purpose of of their life.
因為佢嘅盲點睇唔到神喺佢人生裏邊美好嘅旨意。
Because the bright spot is blocking the how they see the will of God on their life.
弟兄姊妹，今日你嘅盲點係乜嘢？
Brothers and sisters, what's your bright spots today?
會唔會有一啲嘅盲點已經喺你人生裏邊纏繞咗好耐，
Maybe impacting by your bright spot for a long time.
以至你人與人相處，往往去到某一啲嘅地方，梗係出現一啲嘅問題。
And such that your relationship with someone always a trouble or problem.
或者你而家會唔會有一啲嘅盲點正在喺你人生裏邊盤旋去你掙扎嘅？
Or you may be struggling with some of the bright spot you have right now.
弟兄姊妹，
Brothers and sisters,
聖經裏邊有一個人叫做大衛。
so Bible have someone called King David.
但當佢軟弱立志犯罪嘅時候，甚至有好多神嘅提醒，佢係睇唔到。
So when he is so weak and then commit in some of the sins, then he didn't realize his problem.
甚至佢將好多嘅處心積慮犯罪嘅累積嘅呢啲嘅詭計喺佢嘅腦裏邊去盤旋，佢係睇唔到。
Even though there was lots of sinful idea in his mind, he didn't realize that.
但係神提醒佢之後，
But after God reminded him,
喺詩篇139篇有一個咁樣嘅反省。
so in Psalm chapter 138,
佢話：神啊，求你監察我，知道我嘅心事，試煉我，知道我嘅意念，看在我裏邊有什麼惡行沒有，引導我走永生嘅道路。
so David reflect and said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting."
人嘅盲點令到人睇唔到佢出步。
So the bright spot impacting someone that they didn't see the offensive way.
但係詩人大衛教我哋嘅時候，我哋永遠都睇唔到我哋嘅盲點，我哋就謙卑自己，將呢一個主權交俾上帝。
However, when we cannot see a bright spot, so we just
你
humble
仲信
ourselves
神，好似大衛發出一個咁樣嘅禱告，
and let God to guide us and pray.
求你監察，知道我裏邊，
Oh Lord, search me, know my heart, and
求
test
你引導我走永生嘅路，
and lead me in the way everlasting,
求你滿天嘅引導我，
and lead me every day,
求你滿刻嘅引導我。
and lead me every
求
moment.
你每一個嘅時刻去監察我裏邊，以致我哋唔會落喺我哋嘅盲點嘅當中，去妨礙神喺我哋生命裏邊嘅美旨。
Oh Lord, test me all the time so that we will not trap in all those bright spots.
尼尼微、約拿
Nineveh and Jonah.
喺約拿書裏邊兩個好緊要嘅地方同埋人物。
This is the two, the place and the person very important in the book of Jonah.
神要拯救尼尼微，
That God want to save Nineveh.
神更加喺約拿書裏邊，佢要教導約拿。
And also God want to teach Jonah in the book of
但係
Jonah.
點解聖經要記載約拿呢一個咁唔好嘅事？
But why the Bible had to record such a bad behavior of Jonah?
因為喺歷世歷代都有約拿嘅痕跡出現。
Because every generation or every time, all the time,
神
there's someone like Jonah.
提醒約拿喺歷世歷代嘅裏邊，提醒佢嘅神嘅兒女，我哋都要留意。
And similar to reminding Jonah, God want to remind all of us that we have to pay attention.
留意乜嘢啊？
Pay attention to what?
留意我哋嘅盲點。
Pay attention to our blind spots.
更加喺約拿書裏邊，我哋要留意神點樣去教導佢嘅子民。
And also in the book of Jonah, we have to pay attention to how God teach his peoples.
你會留意喺呢一段嘅對話，呢啲道嘅當中，神用咗兩個嘅好唔同嘅方法。
So you will notice that for the dialogue, God has used different very two special way.
第一個方法就係用對話，特別喺第4章。
So the first way that God used is the dialogue.
第4章充滿神約拿同神嘅對話，
In chapter 4, they're full of dialogue between Jonah and God.
好似喺第4節嘅裏邊，耶和華說：你這樣發怒合乎你麼？
So in verse 4, the Lord replied, have you in any way to be angry?
呢個係第一個嘅問題。
That's the first question from God to Jonah.
第9節嘅裏邊，神對約拿說：你因這個披麻發怒合乎你麼？
Also in verse 9, God said to Jonah, do you have a right to be angry about the wine?
嗱，我好簡單一個問題就係：喂，你咁樣發嬲合唔合你先？
So is that reasonable that you be angry?
你話而家披麻咁啊嬲我，你合唔合你先？
Just because of a plan that you're angry with me?
你明唔明啊？
It's reasonable.
呢個好多時我哋都會用嘅喎。你咁樣嬲我合唔合你先？你咁樣嘈我合唔合你先？
Similar to us, was asked out of one, or is it reasonable to argue with me like that?
好平心靜氣去反省嘅時候，好得意喎。但係咧，約拿嘅反應係乜嘢？
However, what is the response from Jonah?
嗱，講得美化啲啊，約拿好 Q 嘅。
So in the way that the answer from Jonah is really cute.
咁你會留意咧，約拿佢點答神咧嚇？約拿係一個大先，一個先知係咪啊？都唔係細蚊仔，但係咧佢咁樣答神，佢話約拿咁樣話：我發怒以至於死得合乎你。
However, Jonah replied that I'm angry enough to die.
嗱，你試下咁樣去睇約拿書。
We look at Jonah, the book Jonah like that.
你唔好斬開嚟睇呢，一齊睇。
We read
嗱，好似曾
the
相
book
識
Jonah
嘅。
as a whole.
神就問：你為這個披麻發怒，你合乎你嗎？我發怒以至於死你。我都諗得多咗啦。
So God said to Jonah, do you have any
呢個合乎你？梗係合乎你，即刻答嘅喎，即係諗都唔使諗嘅喎。
And he answered immediately without any thinking that I'm angry enough to die.
即你明嘛？即刻約拿就動用自己嘅嗰個 defense mechanism，就去對抗合你。你話唔合理，梗係合理，梗係合理，啱啊！
So Jonah turned on his kind of defense right away to reject or answer this way to God.
你有冇見過咁講嘢？
Have you seen someone answer like that before?
我唔問你有冇試過啊
I didn't ask you if you have answered like that before.
嚇。你會留意啊，有時咧，嗰啲細路阿爸阿媽平心靜氣，你咁樣啱唔啱啊？咁樣啱啊！
So similar to a parent talking to the children.
好多時啲細路會睇到呢啲嘅情況。
So it's the way that the children answer.
會唔會有時可能喺我哋嘅成長嘅過程裏邊，我哋未丟會一啲當一啲嘅唔同嘅意見嘅時候，我哋採取嘅方法，我哋係用翻細路嘅表達嘅方法。
So it's a situation that even though we're adult, when we deal with all these challenges or questions, we use the way that we like a childish way that we used before.
約拿細個嘅時候，佢阿爸阿媽，你咁樣啦，我合唔合理？我合理，不如話咗合理。咁跟住阿爸阿媽係啊，咁合理咁跟住以後就咁樣做人啦。
Maybe it's a habit that Jonah learned from his parent that is the way he answer.
如果係咁嘅時候，原來當喺我哋人生裏邊處理一啲嘅情況嘅時候，可能喺我哋成長嘅過程，我哋用嘅方法，我哋唔識有更好嘅方法，我哋就會重複用同一個方法去處理，以致我哋以為可以解決到個問題。
Because we don't know a better way to deal with all the troubles, and then we keep using this kind of childish method to deal with it. And it's reasonable.
或者將自己 lock 咗喺我哋嘅盲點嘅當中，跳唔翻出嚟。
Or we have been trapped in the blind spot and never able to get out and behave like that.
弟兄姊妹，我哋會留意呢一個嘅情況。
Or brothers, we have to pay attention to that.
約拿反抗，
And Jonah reject.
會唔會喺我哋人生裏邊，我哋處理一啲唔知點樣處理嘅時候，你 嘅處理方法，可能現在你重複緊。
or we have been keep using the same way to deal with our trouble all the time, even though it's not correct.
發脾氣、
Anger,
逃避、
avoid,
放棄、
gave up,
求死。
and to be seek for death.
咁當然你哋冇做到啦，而家坐喺度係咪？但係可能會唔會有意無意，我哋都重複用緊。
Or maybe unintentionally we have been doing all this method in our life to deal with troubles.
神同佢對話，約拿冇去回應。
So even God have a dialogue with, try to get a dialogue with Jonah. Jonah reject and didn't
你會留
respond.
意第四節開始嘅時候，第四章第6節開始嘅時候就重複，神就用咗幾個嘅安排。
So start from verse 6 of chapter 4.
神
God
就
used that arrangement.
提咗一果披麻。
So a law provide a wine.
披麻嘅時候咧，就哇！神又唔單止安排披麻，幫安排呢個披麻特快嘅成長啊！
And the wine go very fast.
哇！特快解決咗約拿嘅問題。
And go fast and provide, give shade and solve the problem of
喺
Jonah.
第6節嘅裏邊講，約拿就因為呢個披麻，哇咁好招待啊！咁我就好開心啦。
So Jonah was happy or pleased because the God provide the wine for him.
喺呢一度神安排咗披麻，但係我哋再闊一啲嘅時候，會唔會神今日係透過一啲順境嘅情況，其實係教導緊我哋？
When we look at that, is that similarly God had prepared some smooth way for us to follow.
神
and
今日
teach
有一啲
us.
嘅好順境嘅情況，其實可能係教導緊你一啲嘅嘢。
And for the smooth way, God may have been teaching us something.
但如果呢一個順境或者呢一個嘅披麻唔能夠成為約拿嘅幫助，約神就需要繼續去講。
But with that smooth way, it doesn't really provide any result or the will
所以
that
第
God
7節
expects.
嘅時候，次日黎明咧，就神安排咗一條蟲，就咬嗰個披麻，以致枯乾。
And then God took it back, and similar to God, provide a worm and chew the wine so that it wavered.
一條蟲係神嘅安排，
A worm is someone
蟲
God
可以
provided,
咬個披麻，以致佢一夜就死。
which chewed the wine so it died.
係
or
神
it
嘅安排。
wavered in the night. It's all of God's
同樣
arrangement.
地，當我哋去廣泛地去應用，會唔會神今日透過一啲好突然而嚟嘅逆境，可能係神俾我哋人生嘅一啲嘅教導？
When he said it broadly, that is that similar to God had provided some smooth way and also some challenges for us to teach us.
你跟住呢第8節，
In
佢
chapter
話日
verse
頭出嚟嘅時候，神安排咗炎熱嘅東風，一頭暴曬約拿嘅頭，他就發昏，他就為自己求死，說：我死了比活着還好。
So when the sun rose, God provided us roaring east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to
炎
die.
熱嘅東風令到約拿哇曬到，即係曬到真係即出煙啊，跟住暈啊，係咪？
And the scorching east wind they make Jonah feel grow faint.
呢種
afraid.
即係廣東人就會講曬死人啊咁，即係咁樣咯嚇。
And this, also that someone the sun is so strong, it's almost killing me.
呢種嘅東風令到約拿產生一種嘅不安嘅感覺。神會唔會有時透過一啲個人嘅經歷
Would
去
east
提醒緊
wind,
我哋？
would the east wind God make Jonah feel uncomfortable, or similarly God provide something that make you so uncomfortable to teach us.
雖然神安排好多嘢，
Although God provide a lot.
如果你睇整章約拿書，神有最初安排嗰個嘅風暴跟住又安排條魚，係咪？跟住而家第4章裏邊又安排披麻蟲同埋一啲嘅日頭，但係約拿睇唔到。
You can see from the book of Jonah, God prepare or a lot of things for Jonah, like the
一個
storm. or the fish, or and also the plant, but God didn't realize or didn't repent.
一個屬神嘅人，有神生命嘅人，睇唔到神嘅教導。
Jonah is someone belongs to God, is didn't see the teaching from God.
個神嘅僕人，一個神嘅侍奉神嘅人，睇唔到神嘅教導。
And Jonah is someone who served the Lord, he didn't see the teaching from God.
呢個係約拿嘅問題。
This is the problem of Jonah.
呢個係聖經記載嘅拿書，係讓我哋會留意一樣。今日會唔會我哋神其實係我哋教導我哋好多嘅，而係我。
And God had put all this in the book of Jonah and to remind us that God had been teaching us, but just we didn't realize.
弟兄姊妹，今日我哋合埋我哋嘅眼，
Brother sister, when we close our eyes,
你要諗一諗神喺你嘅人生裏邊，佢用過乜嘢去教導，
let's close our eyes and reflect what God had used or arranged to
或者
prepare to teach us.
今日神會唔會有一啲嘅經歷，可能係順境逆境，或者一啲貼身嘅經歷，係讓你有一啲嘅體會，其實係教導緊你，你有冇留意？
God maybe have prepared lots of experience, even though they're good or bad, and to teach us, but have we paid attention to them?
其實喺耶穌嘅時代，耶穌亦都重複好幾個嘅時刻提到約拿呢個人。
Even Jesus have been mentioned several times in about Jonah.
啲人嚟到耶穌嘅面前，耶穌俾個神跡我睇。
So people go to Jesus and ask Jesus to show some miraculous sign.
但其實耶穌已經做咗好多神跡。
Actually, Jesus have shown,
耶穌
have done lots of
知道
miracle for them.
知道個問題唔係幾多嘅神跡，而係你嘅心係點。
And Jesus knew that this is not about the miracle, it's really the heart of do they believe in him.
喺馬太福音第12章曾經記載耶穌回答一啲文士法利賽人同樣嘅問題。
In the Gospel of Matthew, that Jesus have answers to the Pharisees and the teachers of the Lord.
耶穌第39節裏邊回答一個淫邪嘅世代啊，求看神跡，除了約拿嘅先知約拿神跡以外，再沒有神跡給他們看。
So Jesus answered, a wicked and adulterous generation asked for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of the prophet Jonah.
而喺第40同埋41節裏邊，去解釋點解耶穌用約拿，原來講約拿呢個經歷，約拿3日3夜在大魚嘅腹中，人子也這樣3日3夜在地裏頭，係講到耶穌基督從死裏邊嘅復活。
So the reason that Jesus mentioned about Jonah is because of like verses 40 said, for as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 nights and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Is really mentioned about the
其實
death of
神安
Jesus.
排佢嘅兒子耶穌基督從死裏復活，去證明佢能夠幫助你、幫助我解決你人生死亡嘅問題。佢愛你、愛我，呢個係活生生嘅見證。
So here you mentioned about the Father has sent his Son to save us and raise from his dead. So this is it's a truth that to prove that Jesus we have the salvation.
有時我哋唔係求神啊，你點樣教導我？其實反而求神俾我哋知道你已經點樣教導緊我。
Sometimes it's not we seek for the teaching from God. And actually, we should think about how God has been teaching us.
希伯來書一開始咁話。
From the book of Hebrews,
佢話神記在古時藉着眾先知多次多方嘅擾諭列祖，就在這末世藉着他兒子擾諭我們，又早已立他為承受萬有的，也曾藉着他創造諸世界。神透過先知、透過聖經、透過佢嘅兒子主動嚟到我哋，有冇留心神對你我嘅教導？
and God through his through the prophets, through the Bible, and through His Son, have been teaching us, we realized all the teachings.
最後，
And lastly,
我哋一齊讀第11節。
let's read together verse 10 and 11.
我哋一齊試下讀。
Let's read together.
耶和華說：
The Lord
這披麻不是你
they have
栽
been
種
concerned
的，
about this wine,
也不
so
是
we
你
did not
培
tend it
養
and
的。
make it grow.
一夜發生，一夜乾死，你
Spring
尚
up
且
overnight
愛惜，
and die overnight.
何況這
The
尼尼
Nineveh
微
has
大
more
城，
than
其中不能分辨
120,000
左
people.
手右
He
手的
cannot
有
tell the right
12萬
hand
多
from the
人，
left, and
並
many
且
cattle
許
small.
多牲畜，我豈
Shall
能
I
不
not
愛
concern
惜
about
呢？
that great city?
喺呢一度，神要讓約拿去明白，透過兩個嘅方法。
So here, God want Jonah to understand several points.
呢度作咗一個嘅對比，
Here, God used a comparison.
佢用呢個披麻同尼尼微裏邊嘅生命去作對比。
He used the Castor and the Nineveh to compare.
一果嘅披麻，
The Castor
12萬幾嘅左右手唔識分嘅人，
compared to
仲有牲畜。
120,000 people that cannot tell their right and their left hand, and many Castor.
嗰個披麻唔係你種，
The Castor was not planted by you,
嗰啲嘅生命係我創造。
and those lives are created by me.
神去作對比，
And there's such a comparison.
神唔係反對約拿你愛惜披麻，
God is not against that. Jonah want that the Castor.
你愛惜披麻啱，你更加應該更明白我愛惜當中每一個嘅生命。
And then with Jonah, we love that or like that plant, or then Jonah should also love those life, real life. Real
喺
life.
約拿書留低咗一個嘅問題，
In the book of Jonah, there is a question left there.
佢冇講到約拿點樣回應，
The Bible didn't mention how
或者
Jonah
跟
respond,
住點樣發展。
and didn't mention how Jonah
但係
act.
神最後留咗一個嘅問題俾約拿，俾你同，
And Jonah leave a question for Jonah and even for us too.
呢個就係第11節話：
It's verse 11.
我豈能不愛惜呢？
Shall I not be concerned about that great city?
呢個可以係一個問題，
It could be a question.
裏邊有咁多嘅生命，佢離開佢落去陰間嘅時候，我豈能唔愛惜啊？
There's so many lives that may end up in the hell. Then how should I not love them?
但係呢個更加係一個感嘆，
And also could be something
裏邊有好多嘅生命，我點可以唔愛惜唔着緊啊？
reflect God's feelings.
約拿
Because
弟兄姊妹，
there's so many lives. Then
明唔明啊？原來神係留咗呢一個嘅問題擺喺你同我當中，原來神佢顧念好多嘅生命，
and God left this question for us because He's concerned with all the lives.
呢個就係神嘅心。
And that's the will of the heart of God.
人好多時只係睇到我，
We as a human, we look at ourselves only.
我哋有冇睇到神自己？
We're so centered, self-centered. Have we
我
looked
哋
at
要
God too?
每一日每一個時刻，我哋留意神究竟你嘅心係點樣？
Have we reflect ourselves to understand what's the
或者
will
神
of the
將
heart of
佢
God?
嘅心向我哋剖白，我哋冇了解到神嘅心係點。
Even when God mentioned about what is real, do we really pay attention to it,
Late.
or understand it?
顧念緊啲乜嘢？
So, brother and sister, what's your
好
concern?
問
right now?
你有你嘅披麻，
You may have your own Castor.
我唔知今日你嘅披麻係乜嘢，
I'm not sure what's your Castor right now.
但係神所顧念嘅你知道。
But do you understand what's concern?
聖經約翰福音第3章16裏邊，耶穌好清楚去講到，神愛世人，甚至將他獨生子賜給他們，叫一切信他不至滅亡，反得永生。神愛世人嘅心，你知道。
In the Gospel of John 3:16, Jesus clearly mentioned, "For God so loved the
點
world."
解我哋咁有限，我哋都要做差傳？你知道嘛？
Do you know why we have so limited in our resources? We
點
still
解我哋
want
要
to do
關
the
注教
commission
會
work.
嘅福音工作？我哋亦要關心教會以外嘅福音工作。你知道嘛？
Do you know why? Even though we not just concerned about our missionary here, also
get-
why missionary.
我哋裏邊，我哋同族嘅人，但係神亦都顧念唔同我同族嘅人，神都愛。
do you and we understand we concerned about our own races, but we also got care or concern about all races.
路加福音記載一件咁樣嘅事
In the-
，19章
In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 19, there's something mentioned there.
撒該。
Sakai.
撒該喺當時係一個稅吏，
Sakai is a tax collector. during that
佢
time.
嚟到耶穌嘅佢想見耶穌，
He wanted to see Jesus
因為人矮，
because too many people.
佢自己擒喺個樹裏邊去見到耶穌。耶穌見到嘅時候，撒該落嚟，我今日去你屋企。
So Sakai climbed to the tree, and when Jesus saw him, he asked
Oh.
Sakai to come down and we'll be with you tonight.
周圍嘅人起異議，呢個耶穌你知唔知呢個咩人啊？去佢屋企有冇搞錯？
And the crowd is
即係當
upset
然語氣我加嘅。
and challenged Jesus. Oh, do you know what kind of people Sakai was, and how come you can stay with him?
嗰啲人嘅反應，耶穌佢又唔係好大聲，但係耶穌啱啱聽到嘅，因為要佢聽到嘛。
When after Jesus heard that,
都講咗一句説話，
and Jesus said,
耶穌話：
Jesus said,
人子來為要尋找拯救失喪嘅人，
for the Son of Man come to seek and to save what was lost.
呢、個就係神嘅心。
This is the will of God.
點解神要捨棄天上嘅榮？
Why Jesus
點解要
come down
降
to
生
the
喺馬槽？
why to come to the stable?
唔係為要你去慶祝嗰個聖誕節唱幾首歌，
It's not for just celebrate the Christmas and have some Christmas song,
而係佢願意愛人愛到一個程度，擺低一切，尋找拯救失喪嘅人。
and the motive behind is God or the Son of Man loved us so much, and He gave up and come down to save us.
希瑪
Castor oil plant
佢有佢嘅毒性，
is kind of poison.
但亦都有佢醫治嘅功效。
It also have the healing element there.
希瑪
Castor oil plant
可以成為你人生裏邊一個嘅蠶食緊嘅嘢，或者我哋嘅盲點。
it could be similar to our blind spot,
但亦都可以成為一個神醫治你、建立你、引導你嘅一個好好嘅經歷。
and also it should mean or experience that provide for you to heal and learn.
約拿書第4章，
Chapter 4 of the book of Jonah.
神要約拿明白佢嘅盲點，神亦都要讓我哋明白我哋有我哋嘅盲點。
So God taught Jonah what his blind spots were, and today God also teaches us about
神要
our
讓
blind spots.
約拿知道，佢用一個嘅披麻、一條蟲、一個炎熱嘅東風去教導緊佢。今日神用緊乜嘢嘢去教導緊你？你有冇察覺得到？
So God used the Castor, the wind, and also the worm to teach Jonah. Do you realize what God been using to teach us?
神要讓約拿知道，唔好再活喺你自己狹窄嘅世界，跳出嚟。你要知道神嘅心。
So God teach Jonah not to live such a narrow mind about just yourself.
神嘅心喺你嘅人生嘅當中，神嘅心喺呢個世代嘅當中。
And we should understand God's heart, not just ourselves, but also in everyone in this generation,
弟兄姊妹，
brothers sisters.
求你監察我，
May you seek me, but maybe test
知
me.
道我嘅心思，思念我，知道我意念，看在我裏邊有什麼惡行沒有，引導我走永生嘅路。
Teach me and seek me and guide me to the eternal life.
弟兄姊妹，
Brothers sisters,
巴不得呢個係你嘅禱告。
may this be your prayer.
無論你人生喺乜嘢嘅年紀，
Doesn't matter what stage or what the
神
situation
都
you
可
have,
以喺你呢個年紀使用你。
and you can use it in every stage of your
你有
life.
冇好好體會神嘅心，回應神喺你身上嘅召命？唔好再現在嘅約拿，現今嘅約拿， 讓我哋反而喺約拿身上學到教訓，回應神喺你我嘅生命嘅召命，與主好好嘅同行。
But do you understand God's calling for you and just like Jonah, so we can respond to God that, we will follow God's calling.
幫助我哋透過一首嘅詩歌，我哋作為回應。
May us respond to God's message through a response song.